Just so that you know, Joe Biden wants term limits for the Supreme Court justices who have a lifetime appointment. Interesting. The guy who served in Congress for 50 years.
Who's older than dirt and wanted to continue being president.
Well, he's been serving in government for over 50 years, would like term limits for SCOTUS. And here is KJP telling everybody why. Let's see.
Is this Supreme Court proposal just an election year gambit?
I will say this. I think if you read the Washington Post op-ed that the president put out yesterday, if you listen to his speech, he was reacting to what SCOTUS has been doing over the past, not just past couple of weeks, but certainly in the last 2 years, starting from Dobbs and so many other important decisions that have come out of the Supreme Court. What we're seeing right now is not normal, and majority of Americans agree with us. Right? What we're seeing that the Supreme Court is not normal.
I understand how we got to this in the last week, because you brought up the president's commission. His commission also found on term limits that a statutory change for term limits, for instance, would be inherently unstable, underscored constitutional doubts, said that the composition would generate greater uncertainty and distress. The president himself, on the campaign trail in 2020, said about term limits, presidents come and go, Supreme Court justices stay for generations. I'm not trying to change that at all. That was 2 different days he spoke to this. So how did we get there?
First of all, he appreciates the commission, appreciates the work that they've done. Their job was to give the president some thoughts and ideas, and obviously the president makes the final decision on how he wants to move forward. We have to look at what the Supreme Courts have done. Wait.
That was 2021.
You gotta let me answer the question. I'm not done. Let me finish the question. In the past several weeks, the actions that the Supreme Court has taken in undermining democracy and the rule of law, that's important.
I need that gallows in the noose. I'm just gonna hang it over here. It'll hold me. My ceilings are cement. Is the gallows the wood or the noose?
The gallows is the wood and the noose. Yeah.
Okay. The whole complete package. Fine.
It's the whole complete package. Yeah. So how do you like that? The SCOTUS is not normal. It's not normal. Suddenly, because he didn't like the decisions, SCOTUS is not normal. It has to be changed. Isn't that interesting? And it's all centered on immunity, by the way, which, just so that you know, nothing changed. For forever, presidents have had immunity. It was understood. And it was only because of the court case that was brought up that the SCOTUS had to weigh in on whether or not a president has immunity for the job that I'm going to say he, because we only have he presidents historically, for the job that they've done throughout history. If they never tried to try Trump while he was in things that he did in office, J6 was the thing, that would have never come up. So nothing changed. But he doesn't like that decision. So he's going to change the whole Constitution and the way the Supreme Court operates.
It's very nice.
It sounds like he's taking, yeah. Well, and the other thing that was interesting about that is you heard about the Project 25, the Heritage Foundation. And
Trump doesn't even know what it is.
And they're trying to say that Trump, orchestrated it, and that if it's enacted, he's going to be a dictator. Well, interestingly, Trump says, I had nothing to do with it, and I denounce it, and I will not adopt it. But the Dems say, we don't believe you. You're going to.
They go back on their word. Look, 2021, Biden with the Supreme Court Justice, 2024. Did you see his interview when he stated that the illegal immigration numbers are lower than when Trump was in office? I looked it up. It quadrupled. It's here to here. Where's my ruler? It's in every website, everywhere. The immigration websites, everywhere. Yeah, everywhere. And now they're coming through Canada because there's backyards. Poor people are sitting on their porch having their tea, and there's illegal immigrants walking through, passing through and leaving their clothes everywhere and stealing shit. But no. How would it, like, nobody questions him? These reporters are so dumb.
Well, because technically, what he
They're
did
not
was,
illegal.
right. What he did was he made them all legal. So now the number has to come down. So if everybody who comes in, is legal, who comes in, everybody who's coming through a checkpoint is now legal.
Yeah, the correct word is undocumented.
Yeah, right. That is the correct word. But you're absolutely right, Jen. They can lie with impunity and nobody questions them. The goal is to destroy the Constitution, thus our constitutional republic. Indeed, absolutely. Ramon, if only the talking mop knows what normal really is. That's a good point. Democrats live in a bizarro alternate universe, and they are taking a bunch of people with them because they have the support of mainstream media. We're going to look at that in a minute. The question would be, for her, what is democracy? Indeed. Deviants from the norm have been redefined. That's the truth. And listen, I don't think that any of us, as teenagers, most of us were counterculturalists, right? We were shocking. We wanted to be shocking. This is taking shocking to a whole new level. Yeah, exactly. And yet Maxine Waters still claimed that Donald Trump was responsible for 9/11. Maxine Waters, God bless her. The reporters are not dumb. They are complicit. Billy, 100%. 100%. Elon Musk tweet today about deficit from 2020 till now. Yes, I retweeted that. It's amazing. And they keep saying that Biden reduced the deficit. I bet some people in Staten Island politics $100 just to produce a video where Trump endorsed Project 2025. And if I produce a video of Trump denouncing Project 2025, they pay me $100. Yeah. Has anybody produced the video yet, Howard? And they won't take the bet. And if they did, they wouldn't pay up. They disappear so fast. Exactly. Ralph, good to have you here, Ralph. How are you, Ralph? Does Kamala Harris need a passport to visit the border? She needs to know where the border is, and she needs to, for just 10 minutes, just tell the honest to God truth.
Yeah, well, did you see the interview where they said, have you been to the border? Yes, we've been to the border. Have you been to the border? She goes, I haven't been to Europe either.
Well, that we had that whole thing on last week. That was part of what we put on last week. All right. Well, speaking of Kamala, you saw that in the first 24 hours, she raised so much money. Well, I want to show you this from O'Keefe and Act Blue, and look at what is happening with Act Blue. It's a much longer piece, so I would suggest that everybody look it up. OMG Media. But watch.
And this is all FEC and state data. We're wondering if these donors are victims of what appears to be a money laundering scheme, or these residents actually participated in the scheme, or making phone calls, or knocking on doors. These are things that you can do. We hope you do that. Follow me along and see what happens.
But does it sound about right that there's been 18,000 contributions?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. In the amount of like $170,000?
Absolutely not.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. So that's not you doing that?
No, it's not.
But does the frequency ring a bell that you're donating that much every 10 times a day sometimes? No. Do you think someone is maybe fraudulently debiting your accounts or something?
They must be. Act Blue is the one I use for political donations. Yep. And I do not make that kind of political donations.
Right. So right here, it's 18,672 different contributions that total an amount of $170,221.
No.
Have you donated to Act Blue in the past?
I don't believe so.
You're listed as someone who's given over 31,000 individual contributions to various causes for a total of $230,000 using your name and this address. How much did you donate to Act Blue?
So would you say 1,000 a year?
Probably not 1,000.
Not 1,000?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
would the FEC records say that you've given $230,000?
No.
It appears that someone else may be committing a crime using your address. I'll email you that information, the FEC records.
And do you think you can find at least some of these individuals?
That's what I do, sir.
It's very crafty.
Well,
Very
you-
crafty.
You've been saying this for the longest time,
Of
Jen.
course.
You broke this a while ago.
I broke a lot of things a while ago. No one listens to me.
That's because nobody watches the show.